All right, hello everyone. I'm Anthony Price. I'm the executive director of Be the Change Venture, and I'm very fortunate to have our next podcast guest, Mr. Orlando Hopson. The title of this talk because I really think it's important. Uh, when we talk about our hustle, we all have different ways that we hustle and try to accomplish our dreams and goals. And many to be a leader, you have to hustle whether you're trying to mobilize people to do something or to empower them to do something for themselves, for the community. And you have to do that in different ways. And so I was very honored to reach out to Orlando to talk about this next topic because he has kind of exemplified that topic. And I'm very fortunate that he's able to join us for our next episode. So without further ado, Orlando Hopson, I consider as an emerging young mogul, very adamant about helping others. He's a Cleveland native who's now in Dallas, assisting a gospel recording artist Timothy Reddick, while doing consulting for businesses and throughout his community, motivational speaking. So Orlando, welcome to our next episode. Thank you for being a part of this. I want you to just tell folks or young people that will be watching this soon just about yourself. Who is Orlando?
A little bit about me, man. I grew up with, both of my parents, in a sense. I'm the youngest of 9 siblings total.
Wow.
I lived with 3 of them, 2 sisters and a brother. I grew up with them more so, which were my mother's kids. And we moved from Atlanta, Georgia to Cleveland, lived in Cleveland for a while, and then I decided to leave Cleveland. I moved to Dallas here on my own. I went to Baldwin Wallace University, as you stated. Only thing is I did not finish. I did about 2 to 3 years there, studying international business, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I have about a year and a half or so left that I have to finish. I left for a couple of reasons. Education is important. So whether you're going to an actual university or always just reading and, kind of educating yourself on different things. But one reason I left was because, one, I prayed about it. And God told me it was time for me to leave and do something that I love. Working with the gospel artists that I work for, I love doing what I do. When I do motivational speaking or mentoring or business consulting, whatever it is, everything that I am a part of and that I do, I love doing. Having a degree is a great thing. When I go speak to kids, that's the question they ask. So are you telling me I don't need to go to school? When I met you, you came to an event that I was a part of, where we had people who were on the panel who have degrees and are successful, and people who were on the panel who don't have degrees and are successful. So, I always tell kids that the option is yours. Don't feel forced into going into college because, a lot of our parents want us to go to college, but then we get degrees in stuff that we don't even want to do. And then we have a degree, but we're working at McDonald's or we're working, regular jobs because we're not even using the degree. When we could be entrepreneurs and start companies and things like that, because that's really what you want to do. Now, everybody is not meant to be an entrepreneur. And I feel that. But, so for me growing up, I've kind of always had the entrepreneurial spirit. I never really wanted to work for people, just because I don't like how some people do leadership. I'm really big on leadership and how things are handled, and I feel like a lot of people, I'm the boss, you do what I say, I don't have to do it, I can tell you to do it. And I'm not that type of person. Anybody that's ever worked with me on any project or anything like that, whether I was the lead on it or not, I take leadership very seriously, and my thing is, how do we work this together?
Right.
I want the work to be spread out evenly. Even if I'm the face, if I'm not the face, we're going to work on this together. So, like I said, at a young age, I kind of started to do that. Started my first company at 15, which was called Magic, Making a Generation, Improving Change. So I just did mentoring and tutoring with kids. And then from there, I just kind of progressed into doing different things that I love to do, man. And, when you talk about leading with your hustle, um, you know, hustle is not just, putting in long hours. That is a part of it, yes. But at the same time, there's so much that goes into it. You have to plan. You have to make sure that you're strategic in who you surround yourself with. You have to make sure you're taking care of yourself. You have to make sure you're exercising, you're eating right, you're getting to experience life and opportunities, that you're taking advantage of every opportunity. Hustle is not just, I work every day 24/7, be grinding. You know what I mean? That's great. That's a great mindset to have. But logically, that doesn't happen. People say I'll sleep when I'm dead. Yeah, that's fine, but you still need to sleep now. It's all about balance. Leading with your hustle is all about balance, in my own opinion. I feel like it's about balancing your time between whatever the things are that you love. I make sure that I write out everything that I'm thinking and what I'm trying to work on and what I'm planning. Because when I write it out, I actually put steps to it. That's a part of the hustle. The hustle is also planning it out. So it's not just, well, I'm going to work this many hours this week and I'm going to put this money that's great too. But also having a plan written out. I want to start this company that does this, and this is how I'm going to get there. This is how many people I need. This is what I need to do. And having it on paper, because when you see it, you can envision it, you can feel it, and then you're working towards that goal. I've always had that kind of passion about myself that people will say, to just kind of go after what I love, what I enjoy. If there's an opportunity for me, and I feel like I can achieve it, and I can work towards it. And achieving it doesn't mean I'm going to get it on the first try. Achieving it means that I know that I'm going to benefit something from this. I'm going to learn from it, whether I fail or not. And then it's going to help me to get to that next step.
One of the things that you said you had a year and a half left at Baldwin Wallace, and one of the things I've been thinking about, this may be breaking news for someone who's leading a nonprofit, and many would expect he would go to college, and I'm in college now, but I also was contemplating, I'm like, well, in short, I'm getting all this other work-related experiences leading a nonprofit. College, I'm just pretty much, I'm a government major, so a social science major, and I'm just writing essays, taking tests, reading, midterms. It's I'm paying $74,000 for this, and so I think that's really a good point to maybe talk about for those that are contemplating. Is it worth going to college? I'm not trying to shun people to not go to college, because it does provide many unique experiences, and I've met some of my best friends. But talk about, and we met at an event where it was dedicated for folks who necessarily didn't have to go to college to be successful. So kind of talk about that. Do you think that you can be successful without going to college?
I think that you can. I think that the importance of success is defined by the person. I feel like so many times we define success as having millions of dollars and driving the nicest cars and being able to spend as much money as you want. That for some person, that is success. But to be successful for some people is just to buy their mother a house. To be able to give back to their community, to be able to travel the world, to be able to, live above what. Success is always relative to the person. So I think that you can be successful without a degree. One of the guys that was on my panel, he's a mentor to me. His name's Larice Purnell. He talked about, he went to school and got a degree in pharmacy. Anybody who knows Larice Purnell knows he does finance. And he's a genius at it. And in that, it shows you that, some people, and he said, well, I wish I didn't even go to school for that degree. Because they understood what that really meant. Now, for some people, they need to go to school. You know what I mean? If you want to be a doctor, you need to go to school. If you want to be a lawyer, you need to go to school. If you want to be, a vet, you need to go to school. Like certain professions, you need to go to school. You need to be in a setting where you can learn, you can dissect, you can, meet other people that are doing what you want to do. But when it comes to people who want to, own a garage or own a bar or, start a nonprofit or just start a business that they love doing, whether it's clothes, whatever, you don't necessarily need to go to college. Now, it is okay if you go to an institution that will help you, a design school, something like that, or, just self-educating yourself, surrounding yourself with people who are doing what you want to do to get the tools that you need to be successful. So I don't think that you necessarily need to go to college. There are some great experiences in college, though, that I do. I am happy that I got. Like you said, I have some of my best friends who I met in college. I have some connections that I met in college that I still have to this day. So college is a great experience, and that's something that you really want to do it, but don't go in. I tell people, don't go in doing something that you think is going to make you a lot of money, but you're not happy doing. If that means going into college and going in undecided for 2 years, go in undecided for 2 years. Figure out what you like. Take different types of classes, and then figure out, well, I think I want to be this, and I'm going to take classes that are going to do this. And as you're doing that and pursuing a degree, you still need that real life experiences. So go to networking events. Go and meet with different people. Make connections on campus. So that way the transition for you is a little bit smoother when you do get that degree and you can go and work in the field that you want to work in, if school is the route for you. If it's not, stay self-educated. Always be reading, because everything is always changing. So, I'm always, I do motivational speaking, so I'm always reading up on, different techniques and stuff like that, and I'm always listening to other motivational speakers and getting wisdom from other people, because at the end of the day, I don't know everything. So I surround myself with people who are smarter than me. I listen to people who are smarter than me, because they may say something that is going to help me. I'm always reading, because I've read books before and then I read them later on and I find something new that I didn't find the first time. Because depending on what season or level you are in life, you'll read something differently. So it's just all depending on where you're coming from. So I think that, you don't have to go to school to be successful. School is a great opportunity. But if that's not something you really want to do, don't put yourself in a position to where, you are in debt, not happy, regretting you went, and all these different types of feelings and things that you have. So that's my take. If you want to go to school, great. Go get a degree. Be successful that way. If you don't, know what you want to do, know what your passion is, know what you love to do, and go after it. And when I say go after it as if you are in college. Go hard, grind hard, put in those long hours, plan out, connect with people, things like that.
Mm-hmm. No matter what, you have to hustle, and you just have to define what that hustle is. And I want to know what's your hustle, or how have you kind of developed that hustle mindset? Because I think what is really important for anyone, particularly, but if you want to be a leader, that you have to hustle. you have to have that mindset of knowing that things are going to get better. If you want things to get better, you have to work hard for it. If you want to be successful, you have to hustle. So kind of just talk about where did that mindset develop, and then how did you develop that over time?
My mindset of hustle came from home. It came from home because I come from nothing. My parents worked jobs to provide for a family. Never really took family vacations. I've had no water. I've had no heat. I've had no food. I've been through those things. And that there at a young age sparked in me, I never want my family to feel that when I get one. And I don't want my family now to feel that. So right then and there, I made the decision that I have to make it better. If I got to work long hours, if I got to stay up late, if I got to push through, I have to be where I want to be financially, and where I want to be, just in my own life as success. My success is not, now of course, I have goals of where I want to be in certain amounts of years and stuff like that. But that sparked the first one. I had friends who were dying In high school, I had people that I went to middle school with that were dying, and different things like that. People in my family that were dying, and for me, I wanted something different. I wanted a different lifestyle. I wanted a different feeling. I never wanted, that to happen to my family again. I wanted us to be in a position to where we could create change. I always feel like so many people want to, and this is my hustle mindset, a part of it. So many people want to change the world, but they can't change the people around them. Mm. You have to start there. You know what I mean? You can't think that you're about to speak to millions and you can't even influence your friends. Mm. You know what I mean? Like, that right there, one of the biggest compliments that I have that also sparked another thing in me to keep pushing, even when I don't want to, even when I'm tired, even when I've been traveling a lot and working 16-hour days and doing all this stuff every day. My dad, I had a going away dinner because I was going overseas for the year, and my dad became my best friend my senior year in high school. All growing up, me and my dad really didn't have a really good relationship because my dad is old school. He's just, I provide, which is a great thing. He taught me, you provide for your family, but he didn't know how to be there emotionally, and ask me how my day is going, things like that, and so when my mom left, it kind of forced us to just depend on each other. And my dinner came up, and my dad is a man of very few words, but he grabs the mic to say something at my dinner, and he looks at me and he starts crying. My dad doesn't cry. Like, anybody who knows my dad knows, like, my dad is not a crier or anything like that. He starts to cry, and he looks at me, and as he's trying to like get words out, and I'm kind of piecing together what he's saying. But he says to me, "You teach me how to be a man, even when I don't know how." And this is my father. This man is, my dad is about to be, I think, 53, 54. I'm 21. At this time, I'm 17. So my dad has years over me. So for him to say that to me put me in a different perspective and a mindset of, I have people that look up to me, old, young, whatever. And certain things I need to be able to produce because they're watching. And that helped me to stay accountable to the people that, I look up to, but also the people that look up to me. You know what I mean? And that pushed me to keep going. The mindset thing, it has to shift when you're ready to change. You have a lot of people who say, man, I hustle hard, I grind 24/7, I'm always doing this, I'm always doing that. But if you're always talking about what you're doing, but you don't produce it, what does that really say? It's a mindset thing. So it's like, I grind, and then I show. I don't need to post it on social media. I don't need to tell everybody what I'm doing. I don't need to go in detail with a lot of people about what my dreams and aspirations are, what I'm working on, and all that type of stuff. Because sometimes everybody will not agree or help you develop what you're trying to accomplish. So in that hustle mindset, you also have to know when to just be silent and work. Silently work. Just work every day. Work on your dream. Work on your aspirations. Just grind. And then show the product. And then grind some more. And then show the product. And not say anything. Because then people can say, well, I haven't seen Anthony in a while. I haven't talked to him in a while. But then a couple months later, you put out something. Because it's like, yeah, I haven't talked to you. I haven't really, been out here because I've been grinding. And this is what I've been doing. And they can see the fruit of your hustle. But a lot of people think hustle is just working 24/7 and all that type of stuff, and then being able to show it off and not really bearing anything, because you can show off what you're doing, but are people really being impacted by it? Are people's lives being changed? Are you being changed? Are people really receiving what you're saying? Because sometimes a lot of people, they want a lot of followers, but they don't really have any influence. So
I think what's really important that you're talking about is you want your hustle to be your impact, and you want your impact to have influence. So there's
Yeah.
there's multiple pieces that connect, and it takes those moments in which you're not going to be recognized, or that you're going to be silent, or you're not going to post on social media, things like that. And I completely agree. Which was one of the reasons, why I created a nonprofit so early in my life, was simply because I got rid of the noise and just kind of focus on my goal. And I think that's really important for young people who have goals. Sometimes you have to shut out the noise. So before we run out of time, I did want you to kind of talk about one thing that Be the Change Venture we value is connection and building relationships. You know that, obviously, and I attended an event a successful event that you held back here in Cleveland. And I want you to kind of talk about what are some ways that you've built connections, and if you used your hustle to build those connections, and what are some tips for young people?
I started off at a young age, kind of making connections. I went to the Boys and Girls Club on Broadway, which was where my event was held. The president of the Boys and Girls Club kind of attracted a liking to me, and me to him as well, and he just became a mentor to me. He kind of showed me the ropes of connecting and the importance of relationships with people and following up. And from there, I just always kept that up. When I meet somebody, I'm asking them for their business card just to, follow up with them. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I just want to connect with you, maybe have lunch, see how I can help. You were at the event, one of the guys, Demetrius, he spoke about that, like the jab, 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 right hook. It's like I give. And then, I can ask in a sense for something. So my advice about connection, man, is it's very imperative to connect with people. I worked at a hotel here in Dallas doing valet. And when I do it, and when I've done it, I've connected with so many people all over the world. And by the time they leave, they're giving me their business card and saying, hey, if you ever need anything, just let me know. If you're ever in my city, let me know. I would love to connect with you and do some work with you. Things like that. Because it's coming from a genuine place. Be genuine in your connection. Don't ever go into a situation, I'm going in here to connect with people so they can help me. Go in with the intention of, I'm going in here to learn something, to connect with some people, to see how I can help. Or just to connect with people for no reason. Just to connect with them, know some people in the city. And from there, and it's coming from a genuine place in your heart, then what will happen is they will know that and they'll be wanting to help. They'll be wanting to, do whatever they can, connect with you, help you in whatever way, because it's coming from a genuine place. When it's coming from a place of, I'm only here to make a connection so you can help me. Most people can see that and they won't help. But some people, when you're coming, like I said, coming from a genuine place, you'll get a better response. And sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing people that people would love to work for. I've had the opportunity to be in rooms that I don't even qualify to be in. Different things like that I've had the opportunity to do. And it's not all because of connection, but also because of the work I put in, the hustle that I did, the energy that I put off, the people that have seen me, see my growth, see what I'm about, knowing my heart, and inviting me into those rooms, and inviting me to those connections, and things like that. So my advice to every young person is get connected. Whatever profession you want to be in, get connected with some people in your city that are doing what you're doing, young, old, whatever. And have a group of mentors. Mentorship is a great thing about mindset and hustle. Mentorship. I have mentors for a lot of things. I don't just have one mentor. I have mentors for multiple things in my life. I have mentors who counsel me on, business. I have mentors who counsel me on finance. I have mentors who counsel me on relationships, on, my relationship with God and things like that. Like I have mentors for everything. And with that, it holds me accountable. It holds me to people who are smarter than me, who are older than me, who are around my age, who push me to that next level. So mentorship is also important in that connection part. Everybody is not supposed to be a mentor. Just because you think they have, a lot of money or whatever, things like that, that doesn't mean they're supposed to be your mentor. Yeah. Be patient. Be very selective and strategic in who you allow into your life and who you want to be in their life, because you don't know what comes with that. And because if you go in there with the wrong heart and the wrong intention, it can go really bad. So,
for you, what do you think are the best characteristics of a hustler?
A very strong, positive integrity. Good character goes along with integrity. A heart for people. A passion that is driven by passion. And also driven by whatever your struggle is. Because in those days when you don't want to get up, your hustle, whatever that passion is, whatever that drive is in your life, whatever that struggle is that you want to get out of, whatever business you want to start, whatever that thing is that you want to give your all to, you need to push to it. And that means getting up when you don't want to. Like I said before, I work 16-hour work days every day. Wow. That's two regular jobs every day. That's on top of stuff that I'm doing, travel that I do, all that type of stuff. And even when I come off of a plane, sometimes I go straight to work. And it's not because I want to. It's not because I feel like I need. It's because I have a hustle. I'm hustling right now. I'm grinding right now. So I'm doing these things. I'm meeting people at my jobs. I'm connecting with people. I'm having great conversations that are helping people to start their own businesses. I'm helping them. I'm being a light to some people through working a regular job. And so my thing is, that is super important when it comes to hustle.
Orlando, thank you so much for being a part of our podcast on using your hustle to lead. And I think that everything that you talked about is very important, and it's something that I constantly think about and challenge people. So I would say you're preaching to the choir, but you're not, because this is being shared to so many people who are just learning this now. But I definitely agree. And we need more people like you who are using their hustle to not only, be successful, but to empower others and motivate others, that regardless of whether they want to go to college or whether they want to go to a technical school or just work, it's going to take a hustle to move at any point or at any stage of your life to be successful. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time and effort to make sure that folks know that they can use their hustle to lead.